Ah, ooh, Hello, everybody. It's me. It's Andy, Decayed Andy here. Oh, wait. Hang on. That's why I wasn't around. There we go. Hello, everybody. It's me, Andy, Decayed Andy here. Moonbase 2 pre-show. As always, I'm going to be talking about Transformers news this week. Won't that be fun? There's actually stuff to talk about. So yes, and ironically, it will be fun to talk about it this week. I won't be grasping at straws going, what the heck what happened this week? Or I guess the past 2 weeks. Things have happened. Amazing things? I guess we can get into it. Hope you're all doing well. Everything seems to be upright and ready, so I hope you're doing good and are prepared to poo with me, your friend, Andy. I guess we may as well get into it because it's just me today, right? Is that okay? It should be okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, give me my music. Okay, music time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy. I'm here alone today, which means it's the news week. Because there's actually things to talk about. Isn't that good? Isn't that fun? At least there's a few stories to finagle and fluff about. So that should be hopefully something of entertainment for you, the people. At least that'll be the plan this week. Oh, whether it'll work or not, I don't know. I hope you're all doing well. I guess we may as well jump right into the news and let's get cracking with the knacking. So, we're going to start off with crappy news this week, as there's a bit of crap. Well, it's always like, is it crap? I'll let you, the people, decide. I'd say this is definitely crappy news. New Funko Pop G1 Transformers EAN codes. I guess basically the ENA codes reveal who these are going to be, which is why this is a news story. So if you are like, man, I love having soulless corporate items that barely evoke anything Transformers, and at least I'm sorry to be an elitist, kind of mark you out as a not real geek. In my opinion, if you're a Funko Pop collector, you're not a real geek. You're a corporate a fan of corporations making soulless versions of products, because to me that's what these are. But if you're inclined, there's going to be a Skywarp, a Nemesis Prime. Doesn't say what kind of Nemesis Prime we're talking about here, but I would imagine it'll just be a black repaint of the Optimus Prime. Cynically, I believe that, of course. There'll be Cup and Springer as well, so that's cool. Apparently, it's also worth mentioning that Skywarp will get a chase variant. It doesn't say what will be different about it, and we have to remember that Funko, I don't know why it's not Funko Pop, but Funko had already released a limited Funko Shop exclusive Nemesis Prime in 2020. God Lord, 5 years ago? So I guess this is either a tweaked version, so it'll be different either in terms of mold or paint job, or it'll just be a re-release of that thing when it came out 3 billion years ago. So yeah, Funko Pops. Who's excited for more of them? Not me. Do you remember Mighty Mugs? The Hasbro version? A friend of mine, Nicole, gave me the Cobra Commander one, and I was like, oh, this is a thing. They didn't catch on, surprisingly. I guess Funko Pop had the market in soulless brand corporation figures. Next up, I wouldn't say this is crappy news, but it's in the kind of obscure, weird stuff, I suppose. For if you are someone who lives in the world of California, or specifically in this case, Orlando Land, Florida, the new Transformers Nest merchandise is going to be available at Universal Studios. However, I would say because it is rolling up to October, like within the next few days, why would you get new Transformers stuff when you'd have the Halloween Horror Night stuff, which is limited and usually pretty cool in terms of how they look? I know for a fact that previous Halloween Horror Nights merch has gone up in value. Not massively, but it has gone up in value. I only know this because my friend, Matt, is a fan of t-shirts, especially cool-looking t-shirts from, what do you call them? Theme parks. So he's had his eye on that kind of stuff for a while. He's like, oh, he wouldn't mind. I think he's got like one of them. I don't remember what year, though. I think it has the Halloween Horror Nights clown on the front, whatever that guy is called, because he has he's got a fancy name. He's got a fancy backstory, everything like that. Whoever that guy is. If you've been a Halloween Horror Nights, so you know about that from the scene, you'll be like, oh, Andy, you silly sausage. I know what that means. How do you not know of Frederick the Butcher Clown of Borderville Bay or something like that? How do you not know? You call yourself a Transformers fan and you don't know about clowns from Universal Studios. Well, I don't. So, what are these things that are Nest-inspired, the non-biological extraterrestrial, if I could speak, species treaty? That's a really lame name for Nest. Yeah, that's really lame. Okay, so there's going to be an adult t-shirt, which is going to be $33 reduced, which I suppose is theme park price, but kind of sounds horrific to me because I realize what that transfers into UK money. Adult hoodie is going to be $70, not $70 reduced. A youth t-shirt, that's going to be, that's going to be $28 reduced. A trucker cap, not just a cap, a trucker cap, I don't know what the difference is going to be $29 reduced. A a laptop sleeve. Laptop sleeve. Do people buy sleeves for their laptop? Is that a thing? I mean, it must be, but why? That's going to be $22 reduced, and a bag charm pouch. A bag charm pouch. That's going to be $20 reduced. What the fuck is a bag charm? A bag charm pouch. Okay. Looking at the t-shirts. Wow, that's a really boring fucking t-shirt. I don't know which one this is. Does it say? It doesn't say what this one is, but for those that can't see the image here, imagine in your mind, and this will be stretching your imagination, imagine a grey t-shirt, okay? Can you picture that? A t-shirt that is in fact grey, okay? You got it? Now imagine the letters, in fact, that spell out the word Transformers in the Transformers font. You know, that style. In white. With a red, I guess, shadow effect on them. So it's a little bit slightly behind them to make it look a bit more 3D. Being red. That's that. That's the design. Lame. On the back, however, they've really kicked it up with the words Nest. And to explain what Nest is, Global Alliance Universal Studios. I would deem this as a crap t-shirt. Personally, I would deem this as a crap t-shirt. Worthy of the crappy corner. The hoodie's a little bit better. It is a black to off dark gray, black dark grayish kind of color with the Autobot insignia on. With Nest underneath that, above the little pockety area. It's still a little bit on the lame side, but it feels there's a bit more here. On the back, it just has Transformers, so it's not that impressive. The another t-shirt is, again, dark gray with the same logo as the hoodie. The trucker cap's quite nice. It's got like a winter camo, I guess, on the rim of the cap. So it's like black, gray, and white splodges, like somebody sneezed on it. So that looks quite nice. The under part of the cap is red. The main cap is dark gray with an embossed like plastic rubbery logo of the Autobahn insignia with Nest on it. It's quite good. I guess the trucker variety of cap, because I don't know my caps, I guess that's the one with the mesh back rather than a full material back to the cap. So your little head can breathe. I think my mate Matt, again, we'll mention him, my buddy Matt, likes these kind of caps, but also has been like sunburnt through them before because he's bald. Well, he's not bald, but he shaves his head bald because he's old and the hair has left his head. It is. I was right. It's got the mesh. Not about the being bald. Okay, I was right about that. Good for me. And then the sleeve case is, oddly enough, in the same style as the cap. but it's a sleeve case for your laptop, which still seems weird to me. And a charm bag. I don't know what a charm bag is, but it seems to be a small pouch that you can just put small things in. I don't know what you'd put in there. It has a cheapified version of a live-action Optimus Prime. So his horrible eyes are looking into my soul and asking, can I kill this human without ramifications? And the answer is usually, Prime, yes. Who will stop you? On the other side, you have Evil Bumblebee from the movie. And that's it. None of these really stand out to me as like a really interesting design or something that you go, wow, I definitely buy these things because of the uniqueness of the tie-in to the ride itself. Like, why not have like I don't know, a drawn-styled version of Evac fighting, I haven't been on the ride, so I'm guessing Evac fighting Megatron or something like that, or Prime versus Megatron, fighting each other with like you inside Evac looking at the battle with the big logo of Universal Studios on the front of it as well. Is that too 90s? Is that kind of design idea too 90s? Maybe it is. Maybe we live in 2025 where we're not allowed cool, fun things. We have to go with the boring, kind of starch version of things, potentially. Let me know. Don't let me know about the boring future that we live in. I don't want to know about that. I live here. I know. DNA Design show off the DK-74 Age of the Primes Leader Megatron's The Fallen upgrade kit. Do you have The Fallen? Do you think his tank mode is anus as I do? Well, this kit, because I've already looked at it, will help mildly with it. Not completely, but mildly. And we'll do some other stuff as well. So let's read the blurb, as DNA want to do. So this is the DK-74 Ruination Upgrade Kit. Ruintron, not Ruination, Ruintron. Sorry, I saw Ruin and my brain went Asian. It is not Ruination, because I was going to complain about that. This is scheduled for release in November. The pre-order date is already up, so if you want to pre-order it, do it or don't. That's your call, not mine. The set will come with a new weapon, being a chainsaw and trident. How very Roman gladiatorial of you. Newly designed shoulders, large flame effect parts, height boosting foot extensions. So he can be 6 foot and not lie on the dating apps. Tee-hee-hee. Additional filler and cosmetic parts. And it says update item chainsaw orange and chainsaw purple. I guess this is the effects that they have. Note, the weapon sets will be produced, we will only produce once. If you'd like, I don't care about that. Anything that says no. Okay, so let's just look at the stuff. Okay, so here is the spread of the shoulders. There's a new face mask part as well to make him basically into Tarn. That kind of, well, I guess it's to make him look like he did in Transformers 1, which had the Tarn looking mask face. We have a few parts as well. We have the original image of what he looked like prior and after. So your flame effect parts on your current figure, I guess you just kind of throw them away. I will say I don't really like the fire effects on the new one. They're obnoxiously big, is how I would describe them. Like, I like the fire effects on the normal one were okay, fine. These ones, it's too much, at least in my eyes. It's way overboard. I would have preferred smaller fire effects that you could, I don't know, peg into his ports on his forearms. I think that would have been quite nice. You could probably, I don't know, there's probably some ports on the side of his legs, right? You could probably get some fire stuff in there as well. I think that would have been neat. Instead of a mask, maybe a crown or something that you put behind his head, like you rest it around his neck and put it behind his head, so it kind of rests there, of like more fire behind his head. Maybe it could have looked quite nice. I don't know, just throwing these out here. The weapons will store on his back, that being the trident and the chainsaw. They will peg into his little legs at the back. The foot extensions don't actually seem to be that massive. If you look at the images side by side, you can see that they're a little bit taller, but not massively, oddly enough. We also have the filler parts as well, which fill in a gap on the inside of the forearm below the hand storage. For those that know, they'll know. And there's another bit as well, which I can't really see. It's like this one here. I can't really tell what's filling. Oh, it's filling in the... it's filling in parts on the outside of the forearm. I didn't know you had, like, holes on the outside of the forearm. That's weird. Hasbro usually are pretty good at avoiding that kind of stuff. So that's odd. We have shots of the trident. It's not very long trident. Not very long trident. It's almost right. So imagine a trident, and imagine you cut the trident in half, and that's the half with the pointy bit is the half that you pick up and hold from the bottom. It looks like there should have been another purple pole to just be the bottom half of it. They've tried to replicate the bottom half of a trident with this little gray bit here, which I'm not sure where that's from. Where is that from? Is that from this figure? I don't think so. Is that from the main figure somewhere? I don't know what this piece is. Either way, they've tried to replicate the bottom of the handle, but it doesn't look quite right, to be honest. The chainsaw, I think, is, again, quite nice, but a little bit much, you know? I don't think he needs a fiery chainsaw. This feels like bad management of budget in my eyes. Like, this should have gone to something else on the figure. And you could be like, but Andy, what would it go towards? I don't know, more fire effects like the parts behind the head that I mentioned. Maybe a new forearm cannon, because then if you sort out the forearm cannon, you could tweak the tank mode a bit more. Maybe something like that. We'll have a look at the tank mode. Maybe I can figure out some other parts instead of the giant chainsaw. Maybe the chainsaw's there to grab your attention as a customer, to be like, oh wow, look at this big fucking chainsaw. My main gripe with it, I suppose, apart from just like unnecessary use of a budget, is like, how heavy is it going to be? Is it going to put strain? I mean, it has to put some kind of strain on the joints. I know he's a leader, so he has better joints than like your standard deluxe, but it is a reasonably large weapon. It is going to be putting some stress on those joints a little bit. They show the faceplate, the new faceplate on top of his face. I don't really like it. I don't know why you'd have it on this figure. We get to see the shoulders as well without the fire effects on. I think they look quite nice. Do we have a shot of it without? Yeah, there's a shot without the fire effects on. I think that makes his silhouette look a lot better. Like, he's got these big cube shoulder pads, which, in my eyes, help make the silhouette look a bit more intimidating. Like, imagine like a Gundam, right? Or a Gundam style figure, but you take away those fancy shoulder plates, you know, to give the figure that flair. And you're like, I mean, it's still a robot, but without that, it loses a bit of oomph to it. And I definitely feel that that's being given back to the Fallen with a bit more oomph. The tank mode, I do think looks better. I wish we got some like downward shots of it, because apparently it was quite gappy if you look down from on top of it. I'm hoping that these pieces make the turret better in terms of like holding itself together. I think they probably will. One thing I don't like is it seems like the feet don't transform like they did originally. So the back of the tank mode just has these two big chunky feet sticking out the back of them. Like the Fallen's just forgot to take in his slippers off, kind of thing. It looks a bit weird. The additional bits of what I assume are the shoulders being, 12 in total, but 6 per shoulder. Missile spam, SAM missile things on the tank mode again makes it look more intimidating. The gigantic fire effects again look a bit better here with the tank because they're going out the back of the tank. While the standard shoulder or the standard fire effects are put nearer the front. So there is more fire here on the tank mode than in the robot mode. So that looks nice. The storage of the trident and the chainsword, they just stick them on the side. Fair enough. It's not super cool, but fair enough. All in all, there are They show a figure with two orange chain swords and two purple chain swords. I guess that was what I was talking about before. I'd be interested to hear how good this kit is. There's too much in here again. This is the problem with a lot of DNA stuff. There's a lot in here that I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want the giant fire effects parts. I wouldn't want the trident. I wouldn't want the chainsword, and I wouldn't want the faceplate either. We've got this hand grippy thing down at the bottom here, like I don't know what this is, but I wouldn't want that. I'd want the shoulders, I'd want the feet, and I'd want the filler parts, but that would be about it. And I think this is generally a DNA problem. There's very few kits, at least for me, where I look at the complete thing and go, yes, all of that is stuff that I would want. But if you think to yourself, the Fallen's something that needs a bit more sprucing, which I think he kind of does. I don't think it was the worst toy ever, but I think it was missing the factor, and I think this adds a little bit more there, even though some of it goes a little bit too far, and this will be a little bit too expensive for what it is. Yeah, I think this is okay in general. Just, again, mismanaged with the items on board. I don't know about other things. Okay, I have thought of something, okay? So instead of the two giant fire effects shoulder parts, how about like a flamethrower part or like an energy blast part? That could be quite nice. Instead of a chainsword, I think like... I don't know what the Fallen... I'm trying to remember what the Fallen uses. And offhand, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember, like, did he use swords in Stormbringer? Was it Stormbringer? It was Stormbringer 2, right? No, it was War Within Volume 2 from Dreamwave, where he appeared. I can't remember what he had. But yeah, if we could have had more bits like that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe sort out the feet for the tank mode. That would have been maybe good as well. Looking at the robot, can I think of anything else? Not really. Not offhand, at least. Yeah. DNA also showed off the DNA Designs DK72 upgrade kit. This one's the final one, I presume, for Scavenger and Mixmaster. So, these have been, again, in terms of upgrade kits. So, what do we get with this boy? Well, we don't have a blurb because it's not on TFW, but what I can see is we have little slippers for Scavenger because he has the same feet as Bone Crusher. Excuse me. So, I guess they've done a similar thing of just like giving him little booties to boost him up to help his proportions look a bit better, which they do. It's not very interesting, but they do. They are parts for me, so for vehicle mode, you'll need to take them off, and you have the option, I suppose, to just put them on top of the green bits for the excavator mode, which looks weird. It's not a necessary thing, I guess you could say, but you can do it if you want. I guess it's better than nothing. A little bit harder to tell what you get with Mixmaster here. With Scavenger, the next image, I'm just going down the page and looking at the images in order. It seems like you replace... How much of the forearm do you replace? Maybe you replace... Do you replace the entire shoulder? Like the entire arm? Let's go down to the piece count. Where is it? Show me the bits. Show me your bits. Oh, they only have it up here. Oh, so yeah, you just replace Scavenger's entire arm. Arms, plural. You just replace both of them. So, are they longer? Yeah, technically they're a little bit longer. They also have... They work in a similar fashion, it seems, to Scavenger's normal arms. It seems like the inside of the forearms will have a flap to hide the hands. That's good. It looks like the hands will not be painted. Again, that's good. They still are using the ball joint in the forearm for an elbow joint, which is a little bit ugly, and I don't know why they decided to do that. Maybe it's for the transformation. But they've also put that ball joint goes into a... What would you call it? It just goes up into a bit of plastic and then hinges into the bottom of the bicep. So you get like a full double elbow joint. So instead of like about 90 degrees, you get like the full bicep bend. So that's nice. Again, not crazy, especially for what the price will be. Mixmaster, what do you get here? Oh, okay. So you get two little gray bits. Is it visible in robot mode? No. You get two little gray bits to add to the front of Mixmaster's leg mode. Because he doesn't have like a toe or anything like that from what I remember. You've got some silvery bits to match his grill, which gives him a little bit of a front toe. So he has that. He also seems to come with... What's this piece? Sorry, I have to keep going up, but there's no better image. What is that? You get two more arm bits for Mixmaster. I'm trying to figure out what part it is on Mixmaster. Okay. I'm guessing it's basically the bicep swivel. Because his it goes from the shoulder to the bicep, which is a double mushroom peg. You'll swap out that double mushroom peg for this new one. I can't tell how different it is, but it allows him to have a bigger range of motion again, so he has a bigger double elbow joint. Can't really tell if there's anything else there. And of course, they come with two trumpets, two tutors. Something that I didn't notice, and I hadn't noticed because I'm stupid. You might be stupid too, and you might not notice this. But these trumpettos that have been coming in these kits are technically not accurate to the animation, because all of the trumpets, I'm pretty sure, were the same or very, very similar. And all of the trumpets here are, differently designed. So, yeah, it's not exactly correct, especially for something that's meant to be at least mostly animation accurate, or as close as it can be to animation accuracy. These trumpets are not. Now, you could say, and I think it's fair, that at least the trumpets are different, so it feels like you're getting a new product every time. And they're more visually interesting. I think that's also fair to say. But there's also the fact of okay, all right. Again, all of these kits are just yeah, okay. Is it going to be worth the, I don't know, £40? 30 to 40 pounds, whatever that translates to dollary dues for this kind of upgrade kit? Maybe not. Probably not. But I guess if you're already dick deep into this set of the Constructicons, and by that I mean the DNA Designs upgrade kits for them, then I guess you're probably already locked in and you've only got one more to go, unless they say fuck it and they're going to do a specific Devastator upgrade kit. And just have a big set that has even more parts in to fix even more issues. Who knows? Not I. Andy does not know. Dr. Wu, the fiendish Dr. Wu, show off the DW-ESO9 V2 Prime Commander. So this is the Micromaster scaled G2 Laser Prime, the one that would be Scourge, and that will be Scourge from RID. I can almost guarantee you in the future. Might be a Toxitron version of this as well. So that's neat. So this is obviously a CG render in colors, of course. This is a new release from Dr. Wu's Extreme Warfare line, which is planned for the War for Cybertron Micromaster scales. My God, do you remember War for Cybertron? Your children don't. This is a very nice 6cm tall G2 Laser Optimus Prime, which comes with his tank trailer and sword. The trailer can also transform into the crap battle station. It doesn't say that. I say that because it's always been a crap battle station. These are still early sketches. There may be changes in the first prototype. It is planned to be released in the second half of next year. So let's have a look at the singular image. That is certainly G2 Optimus Prime and his trailer. Yeah, I'm interested to see what this looks like. This is much more of an interesting... Oh, okay. It's not just a G1 design. Okay, that's neat. That's something. I can appreciate that. You'll really get my my biscuits buttering. You'll butter my bloody biscuits if you do the Turbo Masters and the Predators as not repaints, as unique individual molds. You'll have me go, oh... I don't think any company has yet to do that, to make a unique mold for those guys. I don't think so. I'm thinking, yeah, but this could be an interesting thing to see. Again, I have at least... Oh, yeah, you can... No, okay, so there's Scourge, there's Toxitron, there's the White Ultra Magnus version, which eHobby did a version of many decades ago as well. Is there any other version of this mold? Can't think of any, but that would be 4. That would be enough, certainly. Speaking of ample repaints, we have news and colored images of what the New Age Toys H72 Typhoon, that being a new Dinobot and Volcanicus combiner, is going to look like. These are colored prototypes. And the new Ankylosaurus, if I said that correctly, Mikey, which has been named as Scar, in quotations, maybe, question mark? No one's quite sure. And it also, okay, so this is the new Dinobot. So this new Dinobot is going to become the main torso and the building block effectively for Volcanicus, and will also be its own individual transformer, which is a good idea. H72 Typhoon also includes a sword, a hammerlaw, a shield, and some extra parts for Volcanicus, which makes sense, since the Dinobots don't really do that whole combining thing. So, images of Volcanicus are very good, actually. This is like maybe one of the best versions of Volcanicus I think I've seen, to be honest. And I'm not sure if it's just the colors or if it's the smoothed out like design of it to make it look G1-ish. And that might be a bit of a glazing. Maybe it's unneeded glazing, but to me it looks like it's a bit more cartoony, I suppose you could say. And that's just because, I mean, it's probably helped because the Dinobots already are made to look like they are cartoon versions of themselves, right? They're already quite rounded and smooth in that kind of aspect and area. So maybe that is just being kind of transferred over here because of that. Or also because of that. Looks like he's going to be very posable, but New Age Toys are, so that's no real shock. The sword is, unsurprisingly, the sword that Grimlock uses in Fall of Cybertron, that sword. What's the shield? Can't tell what the shield is. Got some images of Scar. He looks a bit on the lame side. Yeah, like when I say lame, he gives me Apex Armor vibes, right? So you know when you look at God Bomber, Apex Armor, and you look at him and you go, like not in terms of like how hollow he is and how like half-assed he is, in terms of like he's just legs and some stuff poorly kind of blobbed together. I mean in terms of design and the way that they talk about it is they're like, he's a drone. And it's like, okay, that's lame. I get those kind of vibes here, and I don't know if they could have avoided it if they just colored his head red, because his head's gray. Maybe if they'd colored the head red, it would have given him a bit more color and a bit more pop. But his arms are very skeletal as well. There's nothing on his arms. Again, they look like a Gundam's arms without any shoulder pads on them. They look unfinished. The legs don't look too bad. The crotch area looks gigantic because it has to be the crotch for a combiner, though. We get to see the Ankylosaurus, which... I mean, it's not nearly as smooth and tidy and nice as the rest of the teams, because they don't really form the Ankylosaurus back desperately well. I think the tails came out quite well, but he looks like he's meant to be pieces for something else. He's got, again, much like God Bomber, he's got that kind of vibe to him. This isn't his final form, baby. Yeah, if you look at the Ankylosaurus mode, it does have a bit of the... I don't entirely begrudge them, because they're effectively making a body, right? They're making pieces and trying to make it have some kind of play feature where it can be a robot as well as parts to make it into Volcanicus. So I'll give them credit for that. But it is not a handsome Dinobot. Like if you put this Dinobot with the rest of them, he will probably stick out. Do we have any shots of them all together? Oh, there's an image of the shield. Oh, the shield's fine. It's all right. Nothing crazy. No, oddly enough, there isn't any images of... Oh, no, there we go. Oh, he's big. He's so big. Compared to the other Dinobots in Dinobot mode, he's humongous. Grimlock's in dinosaur mode, patting him on the head. It reminds me of seeing them kind of sit around him like that. It reminds me a little bit of, if anybody remembers early Power Rangers, when they get the Die Ranger stuff with the big turtle, and the Zords could, stick inside that big turtle dude because there's a shell opened up. It gives me a little bit of those kind of vibes, just because of how big he is. Do we see him in robot mode with them? No, we don't see him in robot mode with the crew, but I imagine he's going to be fucking tall next to them as well. How tall? I don't know, but the fact that they don't show it probably indicates quite a bit. And again, in terms of the design, I'm not sure how well the robot will stand next to the other Dinobots. However, like I say, I think it's commendable of them to do this in a way. I think it'll probably sell. I still am not like on board with the whole concept of Volcanicus in general. I'm like, no, the Dinobots are special as a team because they don't need to combine. There's no need for them to combine. But it's certainly, especially for a third-party market, something that's easy to kind of push onto people. You go, well, here are the Dinobots. They also happen to combine, so you have to buy them all, etc., etc. So, yeah. Will we get a repainted version of this guy? I would imagine so. I can't imagine that they'd not do, like, the Shattered Glass version and the comic version, a G2 version maybe, just to kind of match up with the other sets. I could see them doing it because it's new age. It's kind of new age modus operandi, right? To just like pump out repaints of a mold, a new mold they've done. So if you don't have this specific version and you've got the other Dinobots, it's probably a good solid bet to say that there's going to be other versions of this coming out. Unless this sells poorly. If this sells poorly, maybe they won't make more. But I would have thought that you'd probably be able to get these for the other iterations of the Dinobots, if you so choose. Next up, eHobby exclusive Transformers Grimlock, Drift, and Deadlock Garage Kits. We've got the official images from the eHobby website of the exclusive kits that I've mentioned, the Garage Kits. It says here we have official images of the third wave of 3D printed, unpainted miniatures. Pre-orders are live for 2,980 yen, which is about 20 US dollar dues. Well, 11 extra cents currently, and scheduled for release in late September. So they should be out now or reasonably soon because it's nearly the end. The line has also been renamed as Micrise. Micrise, Micrise, Micrise pieces. I don't know if that means anything. It might mean something to someone. Just not me, I guess. And we have some images of it. Oh, hello, Excel Hedge. Excel Hedge says, I'm so on board for a third party to embrace more framework combiners like Hasbro's. Well, to be fair, third party was the one that made the frame stuff a thing. Because New Age Devastator, like his torso and headpiece are completely one solid piece. And I remember people bitching about those as well. So Hasbro's effectively stolen the idea from third parties, or well, maybe no, they've stolen it. If they steal from Hasbro, I think it's fair to say Hasbro's stolen their ideas, especially over the years. So I don't think that's unfair to say. Let's have a look at these kits. Yeah, so these are just, as far as I can tell, just 3D printed models. I guess you can just print out, put on a little base and paint up. The Deadlock looks quite good. Grimlock looks a little bit on the stunted side. He's got big cape on his back, like way too big. He looks like if you shot Grimlock with a shrinking ray, it kind of looks like that. So Grimlock's in a pose where he's like, how dare you shrink me, I will destroy you. He's in that kind of pose. And standard Drift is, again, looking not too bad as well. Again, for little garage kits, I think 3D printing is going to be a good way forward for a lot of people. And these seem to be fairly well 3D modeled. And it looks like they've been printed out fairly well. I'd be interested to know what resin they used and what a 3D printer they used. I think that'd be interesting, but maybe that's not up to me. But maybe that's up to you. Maybe you just get the file. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go into Dex for the thing. But yeah, these are things. These are maybe out at this point already. You'll have to go and see for yourself. You'll see. Oddly, Transformers AAM G1 Grey prototype. So, this is a non-transformable, 35 centimeters tall Optimus Prime, featuring 66 points of articulation, including an opening chest with Matrix, because of course, and light effects. The design is slightly stylized, similar to the Studio Onyx style. I was not aware. It will be the prototype will be on exhibit at the Wonderfest Shanghai event in China this year in October, so next month. So I guess these are the first images. Oh yeah, it is kind of Studio Ox style. Yeah. So again, it mentioned this is non-transforming. It stood next to, I guess, their other Audley figure, just to give a size comparison. 35 centimeters tall. That's pretty big. It's not a small boy. Shows you with the chest opening up. Does it show you any poses? Oh, you can do like the bending down knee thing. He's got a really deep ab crunch as well. That's a hella deep ab crunch. Yeah. Okay, it looks fairly nice, I suppose. He has wheels on his ass though, which feels weird because if he doesn't transform, why would you deliberately put wheels on his ass? You know, that's like usually like a compromise because like the wheels got to go somewhere and we don't have room to hide it and we don't have budget to hide it. When it's like a posable action figure, to me, it seems odd to deliberately go out of your way to put wheels on his ass. You know, is he just trying to protect his bottom? Does he have hemorrhoids and he needs a little cushion to stop the pain? I don't know. Yeah, that's an odd choice. But all in all, yeah, this looks like a solid posable Optimus Prime. I guess, does it look better than other ones? Because there are a lot at this point. XLH says, so this is Prime at Titan scale. Is 35 centimeters like Titan scale? Yes, 35 centimeters. Is 35 centimeters Titan scale? Because if that's the case, then yes, that is an unreasonably big boy. Is that the reason? Like that's like how they beat it? Like, oh, you've had big Optimus Prime figures before, but you've never had my 35 centimeter Optimus Prime before. Yeah. Is that the idea? You know, again, I'm going to throw it out there. In my eyes, sometimes a figure doesn't need to be gigantic. Sometimes you can make a nice, standard, normal-sized figure. Not everything needs to be fucking massive. Bigger doesn't mean better, at least in my eyes. But then again, maybe I'm the crazy person, and that's, you know, partially true, I suppose. But that's not the point. Next up, we have Takara Tomi's T-Spark live stream. They show off images of the MP Soundwave and Blaster. Masterpiece movie Next Revenge of the Fallen is going to be Sideswipe. Transformers Overgear, whatever the fuck that is. Missing Link Ultra Magnus and the Evangelion / Transformers crossover. So let's have a look at these. I'll read these bits out. So for the Revenge of the Fallen Sideswipe, they give us sketches. For the Overgear, they show teaser images of 2 new characters, new line of original designs. For Soundwave and Condor, Laserbeak, they show it's a cartoon-accurate redeco of the Masterpiece MP13 Soundwave. Oh, well, that's really fucking lame. It's just a redeco. Lame. MP Blaster. The first teaser image, we can also spot Ram Horn, Eject, and a possible G1 Japanese Twin Cast redeco. Missing Link Ultra Magnus, well, we've kind of seen everything, and they just show him off spreading his legs, which is very, very undignified for a lady like Ultra Magnus, of course. What will they say? He'll never be able to get married with poses like that. And for the Evangelion Transformers, sketches of the op mode revealed the robot mode. A great prototype is shown. It has an alternative EVA Berserk mode. Face. No, so face. Also shown his arm blades, matrix, and arm cannon, and battle axe. So let's have a look through stuff. So sketches. Yes, that is indeed a see-through purple, very reminiscent of when Megatron's turned into Galvatron, purple line art of a movie Sideswipe. Isn't it weird that when I clap, my mouth opens? Either way, yes, it gives you an idea that, yes, this is indeed going to be Sideswipe. I don't really think there's too much to say on that because it's a fucking sketch, so I don't really give a rat's ass, to be honest. Exel Hedge says... Exel Hedge also says, I want to see this standing next to Titan Star... next to Titan Star Convoy. Yes, I read that incorrectly because it is Titan Scale Star Convoy. What's this? Oh, these are the silhouettes of the two brand new figures. They're silhouettes. One looks like it's going to be a helicopter, and the other one looks like it has wheels. That's what you're going to get out of me, chat. It's hard to really say too much on these because they are just silhouettes of characters that don't look like they're going to... I mean, these are meant to be new guys, right? Is that what it said? Two new characters, yeah, so it's hard to really judge them because it just shows the silhouettes. The silhouette for the helicopter looks like it's interesting. He's using the kind of movie blackout blade cape design, if you can imagine that. Yeah, it's hard to tell what the other one is. The other one just looks very standard in a silhouette kind of form. He's going to be some kind of vehicle, though. Car. I mean, all right. Soundwave, these guys. Okay, yeah, they just said it's going to be a redeco. That's fine. Ultra Magnus spreading his legs apart. Yes. Oh, that's an erotic shot. That one. Oh, that'll get put on DeviantArt. Sure. Oh, that's a very slutty image of him spreading Ultra Magnus's legs apart. And they played this live in front of people? Disgusting. And then we have the EV Prime. So because the original idea for the Evangelion Optimus Prime was this was just going to be a redo of one of the movie Optimus Prime figures, right? It seems like it's a brand new mold, and he has a little horn on his head again to symbolize EV. Is that the Berserk mode? Did they show the Berserk mode? That's the horn. Show me the Berserk mode, you cowards. I double deuce dare you. I triple deuce dare you. They're showing a lot of close-up images. Oh, that's neat. So it's not an entirely new head. It is you lift his face up at the chin, and then it looks like you spin the face around to reveal the next face, which is a much more teethy mouth. Let's say it's more in line with Evangelion kind of face design rather than the Optimus Prime face mask. I think this looks more interesting because again it's still obviously a little bit too close to Optimus Prime for my liking, but having this mouth at least pulls it a little bit further away from that Optimus Prime look. And the mouth can open a little bit, not massively, at least not for this version, but it can open a little bit, so it can go, eh. I wouldn't say he looks berserk, right? He looks like Looney Tunes' stupid character has been told something and he gets it and he's being called a good boy and he's going, eh. So, looks cute. Looks actually like a fairly interesting figure. I do not like the design of the Matrix. The Matrix looks terrible. The Matrix looks like a sweetie in terms of its design. Like the actual bit that's blue is gigantic. It looks like a Haribo fried egg. If you've had a Haribo, kids and grown-ups love it so. The happy world of Haribo. It looks like a Haribo fried egg, and the Matrix is like a like the blue bit is like the yellow bit on that egg, but it's way too big. Yeah, I don't like the Matrix. The axe? Oh, the axe is a reference to the shitty lance, whatever that's called, the fancy lance that they use in the anime, which I can't remember. You know the one. It twirls as the spikes come together. They're using that as like that design is like the bottom of the axe. That's nice. The top of the axe looks more like a pair of wings. I'm not as fond as the top of the axe, but I like the reference at the bottom. That was a neat idea. Good for them. And they even zoomed in, be like, You see? Yeah, you get it? I'm like, I get it. I saw it. I understand. They have a normal Matrix, it seems, not the weird one. They have two knives, which are very much in the style of movie Optimus Prime's swords, but obviously they're for hand-holdy rather than coming out of the hands. This gun, I can't really tell what the gun is. And they don't really show you the gun. They show you close-ups of the Matrix and the knives, but not the gun. At least not here, for whatever reason. So I can't really... It looks a bit like it's meant to be a minigun, but it's a little hard to tell. A little hard to tell. But I will say I think it looks more interesting than kind of the boring idea that I had in my head, which was going to be just, it's just redecoed to figure. It's being a new mold. That's cool. Like I say, again, I get why it is styled to be Optimus Prime, but it's been, just make your own robot. Make you a completely new robot and just have it transform into the Evangelion. That would be my preference, personally. I think it would be neat to see when it gets painted up. I want to know if you be lazy, quote unquote, and you just replace the head with a Megatron head and you recolor it into like the red, the Asuka version, the red one, or the yellow one. Because you could do that, I suppose. It's like I don't think anyone would be super pissed if you just repainted them. Maybe for either one, or the yellow one, because it didn't have the same shoulders, did it? I don't remember. Either way, this was neat. Something else that's kind of a surprise that it's still going. The Masters of the Universe Transformers crossover is apparently still going after the two figures. I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. It would be weird to just do Megatron and Bumblebee references, and they are continuing, it seems. We have an Optimus Prime armored He-Man, which actually looks pretty cool, to be honest. It looks does it look better than the Man-at-Arms? The Man-at-Arms was actually pretty good. All of these have been pretty good. I will say that even if you don't like Masters of the Universe, you gotta give credit to Mattel. They are doing a really good job with these, especially the crossover figures, like the Thundercats ones, the Turtles ones, the wrestling ones, clearly with the Transformers ones here as well. Doing these crossover hero Masters of the Universe like armor things, I think they're really good, to be honest, from a design aspect. There's also a Starscream Scareglow as well, which again is very funny. So the He-Man Optimus Prime comes with the Matrix sword, the one that looks like it comes with what's your name, boring guy? It's not Sentinel Prime. Primer Prime. The sword that comes with Primer Prime. He also comes with an axe, which is very He-Man appropriate, but it's not a double-headed axe. It's a single-headed axe. Bladed axe? Whatever. It's to make him look more like Optimus Prime's axe, and it also comes with a holographic shield, which, again, pretty cool. The Scareglow is really cool. So the Scareglow is in Starscream Affair. He has... It's a king version of Starscream as well, so he comes with a cape and crown. He comes with the null rays, which are... It's interesting because the null rays... I guess the idea is you could use the null... Because the null ray... I should just fucking say it and stop waffling around. The null rays, or the wings, the small wings, are attached to the the side of the null rays. So I guess you could, if you wanted to, use them either as the intended null ray design, or you could have them just held in hands as like two giant battle axes, which I think is cool. I'm going to assume that if you didn't want the King Starscream shoulder pads, you can just pull off his arms and just take the shoulder pads away if you wanted. It's usually something you can do with Masters figures that they don't show it here. Also says it glows in the dark, which is appropriate because if he's Scareglow, he should. I wonder if it means all of the Starscream parts are going to glow in the dark as well, or if it's just the Scareglow bits where even though these look like penises drawn on his legs, these are meant to be like bones. But it does have a bit of a, if not a phallic look, a butt plug kind of look, if you want to ask me at least. Axelhead says, so what do we call the Matrix? The power sword of leadership? That's not a terrible idea. Does it actually say? Maybe it says. Okay, even the most powerful man in the universe still has room to level up his game. That is a fucking lame way to put it. Level up his game. Make it more 80s. With an armor upgrade from Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime bestowed it upon him, I guess. All the evildoers of Eternia should be running back to their hideouts if they know what's good for them. This origin scale figure features deluxe detail, I guess because of the armor parts, and comes with a helmet, face visor. Oh, that's right. The helmet has a separate mask, so He-Man can have just the Optimus Prime helmet head, or he can have it with the battle mask on. That's very cool. That's part of it as well. Inspired by the leader of the Autobots, plus a shield, axe, and legendary power sword. So it's just Class A as a legendary power sword, Axel Hedge. However, I think the power sword of leadership is a pretty good name for it, to be honest. Oh, we have a shot of all four of the figures. They look pretty cool, all four of them together. They look pretty good. I wouldn't want to pay full price for them, but you know, it's a pretty solid looking group, I think. I can't remember how much these figures are. Are these figures even available in the UK at the moment? That's a great question, me. Let's have a quick check on Amazon Me. That's a great idea. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. I'll let you know, chat. So what is it? Masters of the Universe, Classics, Transformers. Just Masters of the Universe, Transformers. That'll do. Transformers. Oh, Transformers X Masters of the Universe. Of course, it's that way around. Did not 7. Get out of here. Is there anything on my Amazon? No. Why would there be? Why would there be? I wonder if these are exclusive to... Oh, no, I found it. Woo! Ooh. I don't think he's a $37.99 kind of price point. He's not available. Yeah, he'll be available on the 26th of October. That's for the Man-at-Arms figure. Do they have the listings for the Skellington Man figure? The Skellington Moore Man figure? The Skeletor figure. Do they have that up? It doesn't look like they do, oddly enough. Damn, have the Masters of the Universe figures gone up in price? No, because Leech is £23 at full price. He's £20 at the moment because he's on a discount. Like standard, the Horde Leech. I mean, that guy. Oh, hang on. I see someone I'll need to get rid of in chat in a bit because he's a bot. I'll do that after stream. Let's go back to... Back. Okay. Back to the news. Boom. So yeah, these figures, I'm surprised they've still gone. I wonder if we'll get more. Maybe. I mean, there's still lots of Masters of the Universe characters they could do. So hell, maybe they'll do some more of these things. Next up, we have something that I always lament every year. That's right, chat. It is the Irrelevant Transformers Hall of Fame fan vote online. The categories are for Age of the Prime Toy of the Year, Studio Series Toy of the Year, and Exclusive Toy of the Year. Oddly enough, they're not doing any of the fancy characters. This is open until the 6th of October. So you still do have some time. Looks like they've limited down the amount of things. This, again, I don't know why this is a thing. I don't think this really does anything desperately impressive. It's just like, hey, fans, what was your favorite thing this year? It's like, yeah, okay, well, fair enough. But if you're so inclined, you can go and vote for your favorite thing for the year. So we had the art as well revealed for the alt mode, revealed for activate your alt mode. The shockwave that is going to turn into the whale, apparently. They said it was going to be a sea creature, and it's been decided it will be a robotic whale. So we have an idea of what the robot will look like and whatnot. And something that I saw online were people freaking out because someone decided to use AI art to make a AI generated idea of what the figure could look like in the future. And because people are so adverse to AI artwork, they shit their pants and got very angry at the person. Fine if you don't like AI artwork, but I thought this was kind of neat to give you like an idea of what the figure could like in a kind of physical form. Now, obviously, you look at this and you go, I have no idea how this would transform into the whale. You have a very basic idea, like looking at this AI artwork, obviously. But I think this could work as a design. You know, from this to this and whatnot. I think this could work. It looks fairly interesting. It is still shackled by him needing to be shockwavy, G1 shockwavy, so it feels like he is still hampered by, he still has to have the bit going over his chest like that and whatnot. But again, I think this could look like could be a quite fun toy in the future. I assume we probably will most likely get it. So yeah, it's cool. Nice. Something sort of new. Yeah. We also had the reveal of Studio Series 86 leader, not Grimlock, good lord, of Soundwave. Studio Series Soundwave. They also showed off Arachnid from Transformers 1 and more images of the Alphatron Voyager figure and the leader Nemesis Prime and the Deluxe Barricade. So Deluxe Barricade, because we'll start off with the small guy first. I think I remember saying he looked kind of poo before. I attested that. He doesn't look, to me, this doesn't look like the Barricade that he's meant to be, you know? I think the original toy looks like it captured that idea better than this does, personally. But obviously, not being a huge fan, don't take my word for that. So, Excelhead says, given the sketches, it looked based on Skybite. I think that's a fair assessment. You know, I think it's fair to assume that Hasbro wouldn't use a new mold. I think it's fair to assume that they'd be a little bitch and cheapen out and just be like, well, there we go, that'll do. We'll just tweak this, especially for Skybite, because what can you... There's like one other thing you could do Skybite into, and would they? Would they do... well, there's actually 4. But would they be cool and do Hellscream, etc., etc.? Probably not. Yeah, the Arachnid 1 figure we get to see a little bit more of. I still think looks a little like interesting but weird. Is how I would describe it. Interesting but weird. And I'm still not really down for the helicopter mode. I appreciate the VTOL in the back, but I'm not sure about the actual robot mode. The Alpha Trion, especially for the increase in price now, which I think has taken effect. This is going to be $41. Got no ankle tilt, and he's a Voyager. I don't know. Does he look $41 to you, chat? $41.99 to you? I wouldn't say so. Fuck. I the only reason I know anything about the Nemesis Prime is because I saw people saying they should have done more to this. Because I think this is a repaint of the Last Night Optimus Prime figure, but just with slightly different paint, which I guess is accurate to the shit version of quote unquote Nemesis Prime they did for the movie. But I don't know. Ooh, darken his colors down. You know, make him look evil. He's got very light blue on him. that to me does not look desperately evil. So no. But the real thing to talk about here is obviously Soundwave. New Soundwave, he will be coming with a Ravage and a Laser Beak, and surprise, surprise, he's actually going to be coming with Buzzsaw as well. So he'll come with 3 cassettes. I mean, what would I have preferred? I think, personally, I would have preferred him to come with Ravage, Laserbeak, and Rumble. Personally, I think that would have been better for him to do. If he's meant to be like the animation Soundwave, that, you know, I mean, if he's meant to be the movie Soundwave, the 86 movie Soundwave, he should have came with Rumble, Frenzy, Ravage, Ratbat, right? Those are the 4 he should have came with, because that's the scene where he ejects. Obviously, he has Laserbeak in the movie as well. But, you know, you could pass that off on a shitty upgrade kit or something, right? I don't know. Exelhead says, red on the face and new arms, and new arms, and Nemesis Prime does not make. Oh, I see what he's saying, yeah. So it's time, everybody, to get your Earthrise Soundwaves and throw them in the bin, because you don't want to play with him anymore, because this new Soundwave is here to replace him. It's funny how the image of him in his cassette play mode, for some reason, has a piece missing. I don't know why they decided to show with this piece missing in the bottom left hand of it. And people were like, is that how the figure's gonna come? I don't believe it. It's like, no, it's not gonna come like that. For some reason, they thought it was a good idea to photograph it. I'm guessing the guys were rushed to get a photo of this, but it seems bizarre that they didn't have the piece there to like fill in that gap. Because it will be there for the real figure, I'm sure. You can call me a Hasbro shill, but I'm gonna take a stand here, and I'm gonna say that won't be an issue. Andy the shill. So how has he turned out? Well, Ravage looks. Oh, poor little Ravage. Poor little Ravage never feels like he gets a decent figure. Does he look better than the Earthrise Ravage? That's a good question, because I can't remember what Earthrise Ravage looked like. So I will check. Hang on a sec. War for... No, it'll be Earthrise, wouldn't it? Earthrise Ravage. Earthrise Ravage. Okay, so the question, chat, is... Does he look better than this guy? Oh, hang on. Let me zoom it over. Does he look better than this guy? Let's have a look. So, got that in your mind? Okay. Serious. That's as good of an image as we have. Yes, I do think it looks better. It's not quite as thick and chunky. It looks a little bit more lithe. It looks like it's maybe not going to do any parts forming. I'd say it's an improvement. Is it a massive improvement? Yeah, I mean, it's not Masterpiece Ravage, so, you know, it's not that. But I do think for a, like, commercial store-bought toy, yeah, it's okay. Laserbeak and Buzzsaw, again, are saving the same mold. I think they are parts formers. I don't think their little guns on the back of them are built inside of them. I could be wrong, though. But again, the wings are not great, but I think they look okay. They look fine. They look good. And Soundwave, again, I might buy this Soundwave if I see him on sale, because I'm not paying stupid money for him, obviously. He looks like he's good quality. It's no surprise that they made a new Soundwave, of course. I tell you what's annoying me. If you look on the inside of his forearm, the red stripe, the red bit of paint that goes around his forearm, stops at the forearm panel where you open it up and you roll the hand on the inside and then you close it up. The red has stopped on that panel. It's a petty thing, but it's really annoying that it's not there. Some interesting things. It looks like he's got a slightly strange hip skirt, I would say. How to describe it? Is it like, no, it's not like Masterpiece Optimus, sorry, not Masterpiece. It's not like Commander Optimus Prime's. It looks like the side skirt is not attached to the side of the hip. It's attached to the butt. It's attached to the butt flap. So that I've seen this done before with other figures, and it always looks weird, and it looks weird here as well to me. Looks a bit on the odd side. Something else, it's not a huge deal, but I'm not personally a fan of, and it's that they can't, mass shift physics. And what do I mean by that? It's, when you look at Soundwave in the movie, his tape deck is not his entire chest. It's a portion of his chest, certainly. But because this is a gimmick and it's a feature, the cassette is very, very large on his chest. Too large to be completely accurate to the movie, obviously. It is worth mentioning, so it's one of those factors I guess Hasbro has to look at and go, do we go with accuracy or do we go with playability? And they went with playability, and it's probably the better idea. Personally, as well, I would have liked if they had not used translucent plastic for the, what do you call it, the bit that flaps down, that translucent blue bit of plastic on his boob, right? I don't think that should have been translucent because it makes it more obvious, especially when there's no one in there. And when you have someone in there, you can very easily visibly see them. This is crying out for a retro label sticker going over the top of it with like a, what do you call it? A cell shaded look. The cell shaded look stickers that you can get to make the cell shaded look to make them into the Devastation game versions of the characters. Something like that, Something like that would be better. Ed says, I'm hoping Ravage is mistransformed. Why do you hope he's mistransformed? Is it the gun butt that you don't like? Is that what it is? Also, Exel Hedge says, but Andy, Rumble and Frenzy already had their core class release. That's true. And they were shit. They were shit. Arm articulation. What even is that? Nobody knows. I thought they looked proper poo. Mr. White says, yeah, just a darker tint, the cassette slot, or a sticker. Yeah, personally, I would have preferred that. It's not a huge deal. It's just something I look at and I think is very noticeable. And when you look at him in box, he just has a void in his chest, which is a little bad. So this is, I don't think he's going to be one-to-one with a Voyager in terms of like maybe not articulation, but in terms of like engineering. But he's not going to be up to the same level as Megatron, I would assume. And I think it's probably because you know exactly how he's going to transform. Because the problem with Soundwave is once you've transformed one Soundwave figure, if they're G1 versions, they pretty much transform all the same. Because the transformation back in the 80s was a really good transformation. It was a really simple, solid transformation. So it's not going to be anything crazy here. Maybe that's why they're filling out this set with the 3 cassettes to make it a bit more worthwhile engineering-wise. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Simon Tank says, hi, did you talk about the MPG Soundwave? Yes, briefly, because apparently it's just a recolor of the MP13 Soundwave. So I was like, well, there's nothing really to talk about then if it's just repainted. That's what the story said, Simon. They said it was a repaint. So I left it at that. But this Soundwave, I'd say I'd probably get it. Not full price because I'm a cheapo bitch. If we give it another... when did Earthrise come out? 6 years ago? 7 years ago? Give it another 7 years, there'll be another G1 Soundwave coming out. And then we can throw this one away as well. That's the deal we make as... Well, some people make as Transformers fans. Yeah. Not crazy, but yeah, okay. All right. Next up, we have Target are going to be re-releasing figures that you missed out on, you silly sausages. So they're going to be pumping out. Hang on, let me read the blurb. The war for Cybertron has just begun. What? Oh, it's just nonsense. It's not the war for Cybertron. So the figures they're going to be reissuing are Earthrise, Sunstreaker, and Thrust and Gigawatt for some reason. Separately, of course, not together as a pack. So when it says Earthrise Sunstreaker. I assume they're going to give you the worst version of Sunstreaker, which is the original version of him, rather than the 5-pack version where he had the solid roof. Right, that was better because it was a solid roof. It looked more natural. That's why I'm glad I got the 5-pack, because there was no translucent plastic in there. What they might do if they want to be smelly, which could happen, is they release this Sunstreaker, and then for the Gamer Edition, they do a Sunstreaker with the gamified color scheme on him. Gigawatt being back out, that's weird, as that was the an old Back to the Future crossover figure. It was okay. It was kind of a nice idea. It was just a reuse of the Sideswipe mold, which is like, oh my god, that mold. Oof, okay, let's stop using it. I know a lot of people will be mad that Thrust is coming out now. Do not buy Thrust. Why shouldn't you buy Thrust? Because in about 6 years' time, there will, I'd say 5 to 6 years' time, there will be a new Thrust based off the Studio Series Starscream mold, or Thundercracker mold, because that's the first version that's coming out. There'll be a Thrust based off that. So why buy this one when it's the old one? Unless you just want to have everything. If you do, fair enough, whatever. There's no saving you. But if you're just buying this to then replace it a couple of years down the road, just save your money, you know? Mr. White says Giga is still shelf warming at Battersea. How much is it there, though? Is it on sale? Is it on sale, Mr. White, at Battersea? Because if it's like £5, I'd buy it. I'd buy it for £5. Wouldn't buy it for more than that, though. I don't know why these specific figures are getting well, I get why Thrust is being redone, but I don't know why now. I don't really get why Gigawatt's being done, and I don't really get why Sunstreaker's being done. But if you missed out on them, you have a Target near you, you want to be silly and get Thrust, do it. You know, I wouldn't recommend it, though. So I'll mention, because Mr. White effectively reminded me, if you remember, not last week, but the week before, when we talked about a new Titan figure, or a new Titan was being revealed at the Battersea, actually happened. We got to see what that was, and it was effectively a store-themed character. So somebody, because apparently it wasn't the store owner, and it wasn't anyone to do with the store, somebody saw or heard the initial story that Battersea were getting an original character made for the store, or something like that, and decided to go crazy with it and make implications that weren't there. I don't think anyone directly said a figure was going to be coming, but the way that articles were written about it definitely hinted at something a lot bigger than it actually was, which is, that's the problem with journalists, I suppose, or people who get news. It's like, if you speculate on things can, get taken out of hand very easily. Not that the mainstream media has ever done that before. Mr. White says it's not on sale, but I will check next time I visit there. Okay, thank you, Mr. White. Yeah, if it's not on sale, then no, because that's an old figure. If it, like I say, if it's £5, yeah, okay. If it's more than that, no. So last bits of news then are guests for TFCon Chicago, which is going to be in October, the 24th to the 26th of this month. We have Dick Turnhune, the voice of Prowl McAdam and the quintessence scientist from Transformers Cyberverse. Apparently, for some reason, they don't have a fancy image here. Also, Travis Arts is going to be there as well. It doesn't say who Travis Arts is, does it? Oh, the voice actor for Hot Rod from Cyberverse as well. He doesn't get a fancy poster, which is kind of sad. Those guys are going to be going to TFCon Chicago. TFCon Chicago is also going to be getting Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio being the writer of the Marvel Comics, I guess the American Marvel Comics, and the movie comic adaptation as well. And we also have Arthur Bergendert. Flurgenbergenburp, who was the voice actor for Devastator in G1, and also, more importantly, the voice of Destro in G.I. Joe. He was obviously a much cooler character as Destro, got to do way more stuff than Devastator did. Destro's very cool. So, I'm sorry if I butchered your names. I'm sure I did. But those guys will be going to Chicago. And you should too, if you want to have a fun time with Transformers and you have the time, money, and the ability to get there. Why not, right? Why not? And that's it, chat. That's all of the news for this week. Oh my god. Fun thing to say is we're going to be getting a Steam sale, which is going to be in... Well, by the time you listen to this, if you're listening to this after the live show, the sale will already have started. It's happening tomorrow at 6 in the evening UK time. Steam's going to be having a new sale, so if you've got games you want to buy, get ready for that sausage. It's going to be coming, baby. Woo! Let's go. I'm hoping there's some games available for some sexy prices. I do have a few that I'd be interested in, but I also have to be ready for Absalom, I think you call it, which is going to be coming out on the 10th, right? Is that right? Absalom? I've got it on Steam at the moment. There it is. Absalom, done by the guys that did... Get out of here, advert. The guys that did Streets of Rage 4. So it's going to be an RPG beat 'em up. So you're going to get levels and level up and stuff. It looks pretty cool, I think. So gameplay. I really like Streets of Rage 4. It had a really cool combat system, so if it's the same guys, I'll probably do it again. Has a really nice art style to it as well. It has a cool little frog wizard. Again, it looks very neat. It won't be part of the Steam sale, but this might be something I have to buy because it looks really cool, at least in my eyes. Then I've got a load of other things I'd like to pick up as well, which will hopefully be on sale. I'm hoping. If not here, then they'll be on sale on other places as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything specific that I'm like, oh, baby, I want that to be on sale so bad. Oh, System Shock. I want because I missed out on the System Shock thing. Hopefully it'll be put back on sale. So the System Shock. Mortal Sin. Mortal Sin looks kind of interesting. A first person... it's not a first person shooter. It's a first person slasher, I guess is the best way to describe it. Got this really neat art style. I guess we're not going to show any gameplay. There we go. Yeah, first-person slasher with a nice little gameplay style to it. I thought it looked kind of neat. Are you playing Hades too? No, because it hasn't been on sale. I know that it's now fully released. It's now got its 1.0 version, so I'd like to get it, but I've not seen it on sale, and I'm not paying full price for things because I'm a cheap whore, baby. Let's go. I do have it on my Steam list. Where are you? Where are you? There it is. It's on my list of things I want to get, but I'm not paying 24 beans for it. I'll wait for a sale, and it might be on sale tomorrow. It might not be. Are there anything else I'm gagging for? Not super hard. There are other games I'd like to pick up. There are definitely games I'm looking forward to coming out as well, but I don't know if they'll come out this year. I really want Marvel Cosmic Invasion because that looks like a really fun beat 'em up as well. It's very, very Marvel vs. Capcom 2. If there's any... Oh, there's a gameplay right here. Look at it. Look how cool it looks. It looks like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's got Falavel. It's got Nova in there as well. Character like Falavel. Like, there's a character you wouldn't expect to see in anything. It's like no one knows. Oh shit, I've just noticed on the side it shows Cosmic Space Ghost Rider, Frank Castle Ghost Rider, and much less important, on the side it's got, like, on the right hand side it's got Black Panther. I think Black Panther is kind of boring and lame, to be honest. I've never liked Black Panther, but doing Cosmic Ghost Rider, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. I didn't even know they were announced. So that's a fun little thing to find out, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a few things coming out. I went to see. I can talk about this. I went to see. What do you call it? Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle Part 1. That was a lot of fun. It seems to be doing super well. I might have mentioned that last time, but yeah, that was very much worth seeing if you are, in fact, a fan of Demon Slayer. That's worth doing. I've been doing more painting. I've painted up my Chaos Space Marines for Space Crusade. I'm painting up my Space Orcs now. I'm actually having to strip my Orcs of paint and then repaint them because I hated how they turned out. And now I've painted up one and I'm like, oh, that's not absolute anus. So I've got like, the problem is I got most of them painted up. I had two that I hadn't painted and then painted this one up, and I'm looking at him now going, yeah, okay, he's a lot better. So that means I have to strip 6. I've got 3 in the goo at the moment, and I've got like 4 Gretchen that need re-gooing as well. So I have to get that done before the poo weather sets in. Other than that, I've been keeping my eye on eBay listings for more Warhammer 2nd edition stuff, or more stuff I can put in my Space Crusade box. So that's always a case of like going, oh man, do I spend money? Ugh, I don't know if I should. Mr. White says, yeah, Demon Slayer hit the top 10 box office films this year, still rising. Kind of puts Marvel to shame, doesn't it? Makes you think. I'll be interested to know if and when the next Spider-Verse movie comes out, because it feels like that's been on a long delay at the moment, and I have no doubt that Demon Slayer will be on schedule for its next part coming out in 2027, and then the last part coming out in 2029. I have no doubt that animation studio, Ufotable, will be getting that stuff done, and it will be sorted, and it will be great. Exelhead says, glory beats Space King. You gotta be positive. Yes, that's true. I did watch the new episode. I mean, you didn't specify it, Exelhead, but I did watch the new episode of Space King. I didn't like it as much as episode 2. I thought it was okay. I liked the Necron references. I thought that was kind of fun, or at least the flayed ones of the Necrons references. Maybe I'm like the main character of Space King. Maybe I just hate Bryce. I don't like Bryce. He's lame. Fuck Bryce. I like Hate Monger. Hate Monger's based. Hate Monger's based as fuck. I liked how he taught the thing that wanted to learn how to feel. He just taught him to hate. It's like, it's glorious. Based Hate Monger. Also, Space King has some of the best adverts for their items. They have the best adverts. I think they also technically teased their board game that they're making as well in their latest episode. They don't have the board game on sale, but clearly the kids were playing a board game. And I do remember them saying at one point that they want to make a board game of Space King. So that's kind of cool in itself. You know, I heard that Has-Been Hotel was described. I think those guys described Has-Been Hotel is for autistic girls, and there should be a show for like autistic boys, and that's what Space King is. And I really like it. I like the fact that they start off the thing with no girls allowed. No girls allowed. No girls allowed. I still like them yeeting girls into lava in like the first episode. It's a lot of fun. Glory be to Space King. I like how they've already figured out the dumb hand sign as well to do like the Space King face. That's pretty fun. Space King. I think it's neat. The only issue I have with it takes ages for them to do an episode for obvious reasons, because they do it all themselves. So it makes sense why it's so difficult why it takes so long between episodes. And those guys are going to get rammed as well. They're going to get rammed with comments like, where's episode 4? We've had episode 3, boys. It's like a day old. Where's episode 4? Exelhead says, I'm not going to lie, Bryce sucked this episode. That's ironic because that was his episode. And I finally see why Captain thinks Bryce is stupid. Yeah, he is stupid. His lava bomb was kind of cool, though. It was just really unfortunate that it came at the worst time. I kept thinking as well that, what was his name? Terry? The new guy. Terry can be fixed. All you got to do is remove his globules and put his globules in a new body, and then he won't have brain damage anymore. So it'll be an easy fix for the future for that guy. But yeah, I liked we had a one in the Dark Angel's robes as well. Space King, a lot of fun. It's a fun little show, I think. I'm sure there will be people out there that fucking hate it. I'm sure there'll be people out there that fucking loathe it and say it's stupid. But it tickles me. It tickles me. Do I have anything else that's worth mentioning? I don't think I do. Just rubbing my nipples and thinking. No, I don't think I've done anything. The only thing I'm interested in now is like next month, Perfect Blue, the anime thriller, is going to be out on the 10th of October, at least in Odeon cinemas. And Chainsaw Man, the movie, is going to be out sometime end of October as well. And the Back to the Future 40th anniversary is going to be there as well. So I've got like 3 movies that I might actually go and see, which is kind of nice to think about. So that's something. So I think that'll probably have to wrap up our show because I don't really have anything else Transformers related to talk about. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming on by. I hope you've had a good time tonight. We'll be back next week with Big D, where I guess we'll be... okay, chat, what would you... I'll ask now before I go. Chat, what should we talk about next week with Big D? Shall we talk about, not Age of the Primes, Age of Extinction toy line? Or should we talk about another toy line? If it's another toy line, throw it into the chat and we can go through that. Though I will need to find images of that toy line, which will be a bit of a pain in the ass as well. Excel Head says, I just need to know where to find the uncensored cut without Patreon. True. Oh, that's something I need to do. Probably something I need to do either tonight or tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I need to upgrade to Windows 11. The gun is being pressed to the back of my head, and I'll have to upgrade. I don't want to upgrade to Windows 11, but at this point, I don't think I've got much choice really. So that gun is hovering by my brain. Yeah, pop me a message. What toy line should me and Big D cover next week, chat? I want to know. I'm sure like once it catches up, because I know there's a slight delay. You'll be like, talk about this toy line. It could be Binaltech. We haven't talked about Binaltech. We could talk about Masterpiece, at least early Masterpiece, the ones I've had. I guess we could go back to the Chud line because we stopped at a certain point for Chud stuff. We could. Did we talk about Prime? We did talk about Prime. We could talk about RID. I actually have good things to say about the RID line, to be fair. I'm not sure which lines are left. The rest of the movie lines, and then, like I say, onto that. You know, at some point as well, I think, begrudgingly, very, very begrudgingly, we'll probably do an episode on the Skybound comics. And I say this very begrudgingly because I know that the first arc or something's like done, right? So maybe I'll force someone a gun. Ooh. Maybe I'll put a gun to the back of Mr. White's head. Mr. White reads comics. Maybe I'll put the gun to the back of Mr. White's head, and we could talk about the Skybound comics. Ooh, that could be fun. Imagine Mr. White hearing this as he's lying in bed, trying to go to sleep, like beads of sweat appearing on his head. Going, uh-oh. I don't want to do this, Andy. I don't want to talk about Skybound comics. No. But yeah. You can let me know on Twitter, because you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Libsyn as Decayed Andy. We're on Face of a Human Being. Twitter, Twitch, Libsyn, Face. No, I'm not on Libsyn as Andy. But I am on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Libsyn, iTunes, all those places as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're also on the ccbunker.weebly.com. We are also on the Moonbase 2 forums. You can go and get us that way if you want to as well. There are lots of different ways, it seems. Many, many, many ways. So many ways. And we will be back next week, everybody. Thank you very much for coming on by. You can join us on the Sunday, live at 9:30 in the evening, UK time, whatever that equates to for you, the people. So until next time, thank you very much for coming on by. Exelhead says, I did enjoy Cobra Commander series. You mean the Skybound stuff? Yeah, I guess technically we could move over to that. I can bully Mr. White and see if he's interested in comics. Yeah, make your suggestions over Twitter. Or I guess you can do it on Facebook. I'm liable to see them there. So yeah, until next week, everybody, thanks very much for coming on by. I'm, of course, dead on the outside, dead on the inside, and as usual...
You talk and you talk, but you have no gramba.
Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah.